I think we are live now.
Oh,
Good evening, everybody.
hello everyone.
My name is Leejay,
And I'm Melissa
and yes, we haven't forgotten today's
today.
commitment on our 90-day live
Yes.
challenge. And today is day number 10.
Water, water, water.
All right. Want
Yes,
some water?
today is day number 10. Can you believe that? We're already on our 10th day. So we've been going on since day
One.
1
Right.
and we didn't stop. So that's 10 consistent days of showing up here in social media,
Yeah, Leejay and
Facebook
Melissa.
and
So,
YouTube and Instagram.
yes. So, yes, we are live on Facebook. We are live on Insta and we are live on YouTube. Our little baby needs some water.
Yes.
And for those of you who tuned in on the previous live, thank you so much. I believe some of you saw the recorded version of it, and
Yes.
we are so grateful, right, that you're able to tune in. Um, but today's going to be amazing because our topic are some tips for aspiring entrepreneurs. This is day number 10 of our live session,
Yes.
and we just finished actually watching one of our business partners is live tonight, just a few moments ago, and we are so inspired because she gave us a ton of pointers there, or reminded
Yes.
us,
Yes.
a ton of pointers in terms of how consistency is so important in the business, and what are the challenges and the reasons why she's in the business.
Yes.
It's a ton of great insights and
Yes, I was really
mhm.
inspired after I watched that video. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many points we are missing out. And she mentioned everything, like all the points that
Mhm.
really made a difference in her in joining the business. She really list out everything. And if I were not in business and I'm watching her, I would have started the business because of her. And so feel free to tune in with her. Her name is Simply Margot. And sometimes I share some of her stories on our Facebook page as well.
Right.
So watch out for that.
Right. And yeah, so we chose to have the live session tonight. Well, tonight here in Canada. Um,
Yes.
just because we didn't have enough time this morning. We was very busy. I was very busy, and we figure, you know what, we mix it up, right? Sometimes we live at nighttime, sometimes at morning time.
Yes. Yeah, as
Um,
long as we're doing it once a day,
as long as we're
right?
doing it that once, that's the commitment, right? That's
Yes,
the commitment.
but that's our choice, right? But in one, the business doesn't require you to do this. You don't have to live every day, but it's just we choose to do that
Right.
because we want to be consistent
Right.
and we want
To
to learn and
yeah,
grow, right?
and develop new habits, right, is a
Yes.
big part of it. And just get back to the community, because I myself, I haven't been in the community for quite some time. I have been building other businesses that that requires a lot of time, a lot of my time, and
Yeah.
therefore I didn't really have a lot of
Mhm.
time. I am talking about. I'm
Yeah,
saying a
go
lot of
ahead.
time right now, but to spend on this business. But here we
Yeah.
are, um,
Yeah,
and
you
hope
mean the mental
the
capacity,
mental
but
capacity,
because
exactly. Yeah.
you started a whole new thing, last year,
Mhm.
and then a year after there is a system, right? You
Right.
also have hired some people, so
Right.
now there's a portion of that mental capacity that you can use for other
Right.
things, which is the online
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
right?
So, but we love it here, and we're here to to deliver value.
Yes.
And for tonight's topic, we want to talk about some tips for aspiring entrepreneurs. So, what do you
Yes.
think? What are some of the tips that you have?
Well,
If you were to give three things for a person, and you've heard Simply Margot earlier.
Yes.
What would you give? What would be those top three things that you would
You would.
give? Point out to an aspiring entrepreneur, somebody who hasn't done business before.
Well, I think number one is to be open minded.
Mhm.
Don't stop learning. Once you stop learning, is that's when life gets hard. You have to continue learning and be
Right.
open to what information that you're gonna learn, because it might be something that could actually make a big difference
Mhm.
in what you really want to do in your
Mhm.
life, in your hopes, your dreams,
Mhm.
right? So continue learning, never stop. And it doesn't mean that you're at the age now where you just, like you've learned so much
Mhm.
and you just wanna, take it
Relax, take it
easy,
easy. Yeah.
you know. Don't stop learning. Um, keep reading books, maybe listening to other people. Maybe there's something new that you're gonna learn, right?
Right.
And yeah, that's my main thing.
Mm.
What's
The second
for
main
your?
thing.
I have other things, but I'd
Yeah.
love to hear
Okay,
yours
so
just
my
in case.
okay, so my first thing is for you it's learning. For me it's um, avoiding distraction, which is focus, right?
Mhm.
I think that is so crucial, especially for people that are starting up. Um, there's a thing called shiny objects,
Yeah.
and that is so true because I experience that all the time, right? Shiny objects are going to destroy focus. It would just obliterate it, right? If there's any more elegant word to describe that, because the problem with entrepreneurs is that it's a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
For shiny objects, we really, especially if you're feeling the entrepreneurial spirit, you'd be researching buy
Yeah.
and sell, you'd be researching Amazon, selling,
Yes.
you'd be looking into maybe network marketing, or traditional businesses such as service industry,
Yes.
possibly starting a cleaning company,
Yes.
right? Or a car wash company, whatever, right? Or retail. Like there's a ton of different opportunities out there, and I think that um, the more shiny objects, the more opportunities you open up. It's good because it's an opportunity, right?
Mhm.
But it can also be a curse if you don't focus on the thing that you picked, right?
Yeah.
So if you pick something, run with it, right? Doesn't matter what kind of business but you run with it, figure out if this is something you really want to do, if that's something you really want to do, and then if you fail, learn from it,
Yeah.
right? Regardless, you'll still win. There's always going to be a benefit, no matter what the results are going to be, right? So
Yes.
that's number one thing is focus, right? Avoid shiny objects. If you have an idea, run with it, and just focus on one thing, right?
Yes.
And then be very successful,
Mhm.
really really fast,
Mhm.
or fail really really fast, right?
Yes.
There is a thing called prolonged failure, meaning you are going to fail. It's just that you're prolonging the agony, right?
Yes.
So and that's why sometimes people ask me like, why do you move so fast, right? When I work with other people, it seems like they can't keep up with the level of
I can't keep up with you.
the level of work that I do, right?
Yeah.
Like I put in a ton of work,
Yeah.
hours and hours, and just being
Yes.
obsessed with something, and you know, and from there
It may not be that good, but
right, I would, I would know, right, if that's something that I want to stick, my time in, right? So that's one thing. Focus. What's your second thing?
second, I think you touched on it a little bit.
Mhm.
Is it's okay to make mistakes.
Mm.
You mentioned that if you fail, it's okay because you learn, right?
Mhm.
With the thing that I said, it's okay to make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes along the way, and it's it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. We have made our own mistakes, and but we're still here.
Mm-hmm.
We're still continuing with what we're doing. We're still we'll still we're still
We're
learning,
stir. We're stirring the
and
pot.
and and we're doing our best.
That's right.
Whatever we can do, we're just keeping on with it. And if ever we made mistakes again in the
Mm-hmm.
future, it's okay. It's something that we can teach other people, right? Because
Right.
the way this business runs is that we have our team where we can learn from each other. We learn from them, they
Mm.
learn from us. So if we made those mistakes, other people can actually benefit from that by sharing our stories,
Mm-hmm.
by sharing the mistakes that we had. They learn something from it, so hopefully they won't be making the same mistakes as we did. And in the past 4 years, I couldn't count how many mistakes we have made, but it's a learning process.
Right.
I think being an entrepreneur, you just gotta keep doing it no
Mm-hmm.
matter how many mistakes you made.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, but at the end of the day, you're still gonna get back up, and you're still gonna face the day and continue on with your work because other people are relying on you,
Right.
right?
And I love that you mentioned that when it comes to mistakes and how we get back up and and do things again. That's the thing with being entrepreneurs is that you'll eventually will fall down, but it's not the falling down that counts. It's
Mhm.
actually when you get back up.
Yes.
Which brings me to my second
Yes.
tip, right? Um, take action, right?
Mhm.
Take action on that idea, on that urge, right? On that, uh, they call it the angels, left and right angels, right? The one that's saying yes, do it. The other one that's saying no, don't do it,
Yeah.
right? Do it. Take action, right?
Yeah.
Because action is the bridge, and I've learned this from T. Harv Eker. I don't know if you guys know T. Harv Eker,
Yes.
The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He wrote that,
Mhm.
and he said that, you know, there is your there's your goals
Mhm.
and there's your results,
Yes.
right? Action is the bridge to the
Yes.
results, right?
Yeah.
Action is the bridge to the results. So no matter how much manifestation you would get, right? And I
Mhm.
mentioned this in the previous live where I said that God is so good to us that he will allow you to think about prosperity, think about abundance. He will allow you to think about wealth, right?
Mhm.
About being successful. There is a reason, and this is from Steve Harvey in one of his personal development moment, right after before breaks or whatever. He said
Yeah.
that there is a reason why people think about good things, good stuff, right? It's because God allowed that to be in your head, right?
Yeah.
And when that happens, when God allows that to to put in your head, that means you already have that capability, right,
Mhm.
of doing it, right? Because from Bob Proctor, he said that whatever you think, you can hold in your hand, right? It's
Yes.
the secret is manifestation. The secret is the law of attraction, right? Everybody says that, and it's so true in so many levels, you guys. I've tried it, I tested it, it works, right? Um, and But before that manifestation to actually happen, before your goal to actually materialize, there is this one thing, right? One thing that bridges them together, right? And it's that is action, right? So if there's something that's missing, if there's something that's missing in your life, and maybe you would say, Leejay, you know what, I have been waiting for so long. I have been I have been wishing that I would win the lottery. I never won it. but have you even bought a lottery ticket?
Mhm.
Right? That is the question, right?
Yeah.
Um, there was a there was a story, right, that a man went to the church and he asked God, will you let me win the lottery ticket, the lottery? And he did that for several days,
Yeah.
and God finally was fed up, and he said that, son, you've been coming here every day, and yet you haven't bought a lottery ticket,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
let's do that. Let's take action, right? Take action in terms of, if you saw this opportunity is a viable opportunity for you, if you
Yes.
think that this will augment some of the skills that you already have.
Yeah.
Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you wanted to explore different streams of income. You're a professional already, you make good money, right? Good for you. You can create an automated system, with the platform that we have, right? So that you can expand more with with the wealth that you currently have. There's so many things, so many reasons that I can tell you of why take action of this particular business opportunity. And I think what other people won't realize is that, a small action, um, you know, a million miles, right, starts with a single step, right? And you know, at the end of the day, it's the action that actually counts from the beginning. And there's a saying in our community: the action takers of today are the millionaires of tomorrow,
Yes.
because they won't you know you won't really achieve success without taking action.
Yes.
And yeah, that's my second tip.
Yeah. My third one. I love that part that you said, the last part. The millionaire.
Yeah,
No,
action takers of
the
today.
yeah, the action takers of today. Yeah, because I we hear that a lot in our community. Every time there's somebody who joins, they would say the action takers of today is the millionaires of tomorrow. Because can you imagine the millionaires who are in our community? They've started the same way as we did. They took action years before. They took action 5 years before, 6 years, 4 years before. And can you
Okay.
imagine, they are millionaires now, but can you imagine if they didn't take action 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they wouldn't be where they are now. But they
Mhm.
did, and that's why they're able to become millionaires. And that brings me to my third tip,
Mhm.
which is get an accountability partner,
Yes.
right? So it's
What is it?
as
What is it?
entrepreneurs, when the going
Here,
gets
here, here.
tough,
Drink some water.
or you don't know where
I get something for you.
where
Come.
you're going, or you need to reach out from somebody. It's accountability partner is somebody that you would need in the business that we are in right now. You get a mentor and a coach, and these mentors and coach will be there for you, to where you can reach out to them, you can ask questions. If you're struggling with something, they can help you out, right? And that's what we do here in the business. Leejay and I, we are mentors in the community. We help out our team if there's anything that they're struggling with, or they're stuck with something and they don't know what the next step is. They would reach out, and that's what we love about the community, is that we have accountability partners. we
Mm.
we know who to reach out to when there's something that we're struggling with, right? And entrepreneurs, they really need accountability partners. It could be your husband or your wife, something that will be able to tell you the real deal, like who would tell you in your face that this is what you need to do. um, you have this problem, and this is the solution. So somebody who would be honest, right, who somehow probably would know the solution to your problem. And mentors and coaches here in the community, they've they have experiences, they've learned the system, they've done the training, they've they watch masterminds, they've surrounded themselves with like-minded people who are knowledgeable in what they do. And so mentors and coaches are a great resource in the business, and that's why we are here in the business, right?
That's right. When it comes to mentors and coaches, guys, I mean, you don't need to to be alone in the journey, because at the end of the day there's always going to be somebody that experienced it. And Mel was telling us about that earlier when she mentioned that you don't really need to experience what other people experience, because there's a reason why that person was introduced to you, or that you've seen a video maybe, or a sharing of that particular person.
Mhm.
And when you are watching this kind of lives and this kind of videos, it's actually a blessing, because you're able to learn from that particular person, without even experiencing it, right?
Yes.
um, and don't wish to experience things that are not pleasant. It is, it's already not pleasant, and be
Yeah.
thankful that somebody else went through that process, and somebody else can tell you the struggle and
The
the
mistakes that they
mistakes that
had.
they have.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I'm really glad is that when I'm listening to these stories, I can already tell that they went through a lot, right?
Mhm.
And when I look at my journey, my experiences, it's nothing compared to theirs, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not jealous or anything, but more of a respect to that particular person
Mhm.
for
Yes.
sharing that information, and so everybody can learn from it, right?
Yes.
Um, so my third tip for entrepreneurs is that you you really need to find your groove, right? And what I mean by that is habits, right? Habits are such an important aspect
Mhm.
of being a successful entrepreneur, because we can easily be distracted. Like what I said earlier in the first point,
Mhm.
we can easily be distracted with the shiny objects. And therefore, when you develop certain habits, um, you know, uh, and and this week's book is actually about atomic habits, right,
Yeah.
by James Clear. And he really dissected all the aspects of not obtaining, but gaining a habit, right, or learning a habit.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things are in the subconscious. There's always going to be a trigger, right, and then a reaction, and then a reward, right?
Yes.
um, and for many people, a simple trigger, right, can activate a habit. And the way it would look is that if you are trying to build a habit of let's say waking up early in the morning, you would put your alarm clock on, and actually put it on the opposite side of the room, so that when the alarm clock triggers, you'd actually have to get up and turn it off, right?
Yeah.
And so when you are up already, your blood is already pumping, and there's a better opportunity for you to finally be awake at that particular time.
Yes.
The other thing too is when so that it makes it easier for you
Mhm.
to build the habit, is
Mhm.
prepare certain things. Like if you want to work up early in the morning, make it easier for you, right? So meaning
Mhm.
the night before, put up your clothes and make them ready, and maybe have the socks right beside the rubber shoes,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
um, or your toothbrush, right, right beside the sink, right? So
Yeah.
that you'll, as soon as you get up, grab your toothbrush, brush your teeth,
Yeah.
wet your face or whatever that is. Go for one.
Yeah.
So it might be simple to think that way, that yes, good habits are good for you, right? But it's also detrimental to starting a business, right? Being entrepreneurial. And habits create excellence, right? One of my mentors actually told me that
Mhm.
that when you are in the habitual good habits, right, habitual motive or action, it
Mhm.
can actually create excellence.
Yes.
And the way to look at that in a very simple perspective is look at sports people,
Yes.
right? I mean, basketball players, right? They do two things very, very good, right? One is dribbling and the other one is shooting,
Shooting.
right? So they dribble and they shoot, and they dribble and they shoot, and they dribble and they shoot. And
Yeah.
even in the pro level, there's so many drills of shooting and dribbling and shooting and dribbling.
Yeah.
Golf players are the same thing, right? What's their goal,
To shoot the ball.
right? To hit the ball
Goal.
with a club, right?
Yes.
So that the
Hit and
ball,
then shoot.
and lands in that in the putty, right? So the idea is to obtain these habits. And once you have those habits of saving could be, right, habits of getting your receipts organized.
Mhm.
I find that very interesting because Mel just
It's
did
a tax
accounting here,
season.
tax
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
And the more organized you are with your expenses, the better your taxes are going to be, right? And we
Yes.
experience
Because
that
you're gonna
firsthand,
be able to claim expenses,
right?
right?
Habits of tracking expenses, right?
Yeah.
My one of my I was so bad into tracking my expenses in the past, where I spent thousands and thousands of dollars into advertising and food and all these things that wasn't really helping, right? So habits, developing it early on,
Mhm.
and during your entrepreneurial journey is a crucial part of being an entrepreneur, because like what I said, this will make or break your journey, right? If you have bad habits, it's going to be really, really tough. Some people have bad habits being successful,
Yes.
but those there are other people out there as well that that are successful because of their good habits, right? And you'll see those kind of people that are successful because of good habits. They are less stressed, they're more relaxed, they're more giving, right? They
Yeah.
give free information or valuable information a lot. And you'll see these people and be inspired with them, right?
Yeah.
But you'll see people that has bad habits in business, they're more stressed, right? They tend to do illegal things, things that are not ethical, right?
Mhm.
They are successful, right? They are, they have a lot of money in their own way. But you know are they successful? Like, for example, Judas got the money, right? But he betrayed Jesus, right?
Mhm.
So Jim Rohn actually said that into one of his seminars, right?
Yeah.
Right, the Judas got the money, but how did he get the money?
Yeah.
In an unethical way. And so,
Mhm.
why am I saying all these things, right? In our online business, we teach all these things, right? We teach being ethical. We
Yeah.
teach being, building habits, right? This 90-day challenge is all about building a habit of live sessions.
Yeah.
There are courses out there on accountability and, accountability
Yes.
partners, real people that you can be accountable with.
Yeah.
And those things are available for you, right?
Yes.
So that's it. Those are the
Yeah.
three things on each of us. And
It sounds like we have many more to say, but
I
that's
know,
for another time.
yes, there's so many more, guys. Tune
Mhm.
in for more of these live sessions.
Yes.
If you like this one, give us a thumbs up, or a like. And
Yes.
if you are considering, joining us, and you can reach out to us through our Messenger or visit our website, right?
Yeah.
But the best way really is to just reach out to us, have a quick
Yeah.
conversation, right?
Yes.
Let's have a quick chat. And, there's no harm to that. It's completely free, right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, I'll give you a free access to our VIP group, right? So that you're
Mhm.
able to see other successful people, right? Maybe you
Yes.
can connect with them and you can connect with
Yeah.
us, whatever that is, right? So, thanks a lot for watching, for tuning in.
Yeah.
Um, that's it.
And that's it. That's 30 minutes, and it feels like there are many more things that
There's
we
many
can
more.
say.
We could probably go on all night
We can
here.
probably write a book with all the
Thanks a lot, guys. Take
Yeah.
care.
Take care.
Have
Have a
fun.
good
God bless.
night.
Good night
Bye.
or good morning, wherever you are.